good day, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is for you right now. Thank you so much for finding your way to this video. I'm so happy that you arrived. Take a moment to, I don't know, subscribe or hit the like button or whatever serves you in this moment. Today I want to talk about a journal entry that I wrote back November 20th. November 21st, 2020, I wrote this. And today is April 23rd, okay? So I wrote this journal entry and I want to talk about it and what it means to me today versus what it meant to me when I wrote it November, December, January, February, March, April. It's been 5 months since I wrote that entry. I mean, today's the 23rd. So it's been just 2 days over 5 months since I wrote this, okay? So it says, I wish that I could remember, figure out, realize what I experienced in my life to where I internalized feelings such an extreme guilt and shame in expressing my needs in human contact relationships. I wonder, is it because I didn't grow up with a father? Did I learn that nice girls are not demanding? Did I learn that good people don't have to tell people how to treat them or what they want? Did I associate negative outcomes with asking for what you want, need, or did I just not see it modeled? I wish I could pinpoint in my brain where it came from so I could go to and through that and relearn, rewire that neural pathway. Until then, I stay so stuck in my head, questioning, second guessing, and doubting whether I am ever suffering or simply asking too much. I often tell myself that I'll be okay, but geez, sometimes I hate that I go to that because I know that it's a trauma response and not so much a comfort and an assurance. It's more like I have to be okay, so I'll be okay. Do my expectations or standards lower every time I do that? Healing is such a roller coaster ride. The more progress you make in healing, you learn that there is another layer, another level to pull the curtain back on and explore. More internalized beliefs and thought patterns that are worth working to change. Healing is like violently kicking down the tower of blocks that you've been building forever for your lifetime, a lifetime ago, and then going back to rebuild the tower only to discover that you can't use those original blocks anymore. They disintegrate or they're too rough or bumpy or sticky. Those of you who garden know how it is when you try to use untreated wood year after year. You can't do that, right? So you have to throw them away and work to make new wooden blocks, cut, sand, paint them before you stack them. The old blocks no longer belong or work here. Your standards elevate with each new block. Your expectations increase and your foundation, your home, becomes so much more beautiful and intentionally built. So I wrote that November of 5 months ago, okay? And so when I come back to that journal entry today and I ask myself, what does that mean? Like, what is it? Like I said, I wish I could remember and realize and figure out what I experienced in my life to where I internalized feeling such an extreme guilt and shame in expressing my needs in human contact and relationships. I didn't know what that was back then, but I do today, okay? That was self-worth. That's what it was. Self-worth. Did I learn that nice girls are not demanding? Self-worth, right? Because I associated being nice with not asking too much and not prioritizing, verbalizing, vocalizing, or tuning into my needs, right? Like, it was like everybody else's needs are more important than mine. But that's not true. I just didn't think that I was worthy or deserving enough of having my needs met. So therefore, I didn't even take the time to explore them, let alone feel like I deserve to live in them. Okay? I said, I wish I could pinpoint that in my brain. And then there was the part where I said, like sometimes I wonder if I'm suffering. Because you know what? I started to ask myself, does this cause me suffering or not? When it was coming down to the decisions that I was making, I was like, is this causing me suffering? And if it's causing me suffering, I'm not participating in that. If it's causing me suffering in terms of if I'm not getting proper nourishment, if it's going to cause me to not properly nourish, to not properly rest, to have that dis-ease in my stomach or my heart, if I have that feeling in my body that's like, this doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel okay, suffering, I'm not participating in that. If I feel like I cannot, like I'll be punished for asking for what I need, that's suffering for me. And it's not worth it. I remember I was in therapy and my therapist, she said to me, she said, well, Keena, why don't you ask for what it is that you want? Why don't you ask for it? And I said, well, I don't know. I'm scared. And I was scared, right? Well, what are you afraid of? Well, what if, here comes abandonment issues. What if they leave me? What if they throw me away? Right? But to rephrase that, it would be, what if, and I think I saw this on the Red Table Talk. It's like, you absolutely should ask for your needs to be met. You should absolutely ask for what it is that you want and what it is that you need. Because the worst thing that can happen is that whoever you're asking can get on up out of the way and make room for whatever it is that you actually want, if they're not willing or interested or capable of providing that. And the best thing that could happen is that they could realize and discover that they are fully equipped and interested and available to be able to provide and offer that to you. So the worst thing that can happen is that you will spend less time, you will waste less of your time looking for your needs to be met by someone who's not interested in meeting your needs. The best thing that can happen is that your needs are met. Okay? And yes, there's things in between, but if you're looking at it from a perspective of, I value myself, I am worthy and deserving of my needs being met, then if there's if you have a person in your life who you're seeking to have that need met from them, and then they're not able or capable or willing or wanting to provide that, whatever it is, even if it's just, I want to be hugged, I want to snuggle or something like that. Like, I want physical affection, like non-sexual physical affection. I just want to have physical affection. If they're not willing to provide that, then it's better that they no longer waste your time and that you no longer waste your time or their time, because they're probably better meant and aligned for someone else. And then you are going to free yourself up so you're not expending energy in a place and in a destination that's not meant for you. You're on the wrong stop on that boat. The wrong stop on that, you're at the wrong pier. You're at the wrong pier. Oh, look at that sun, y'all. I was being nosy. The kids are on the phone in the other room. Do you know what happens when you advocate for yourself? Do you know what happens every time that you assert your needs? Every time that you speak up for yourself, every time that you ask for what it is that you in fact want, desire, deserve, do you know what happens? Do you? The thing that was once hard becomes easier. It becomes easier. You practice using your voice, then your voice becomes a little bit less shaky. It becomes a little less cracked. It becomes a little bit more clear. You know what I mean? And then also you're rerouting those neural pathways in your mind. I wrote down in my journal, I said, I wish that I could go back, go to and through that and relearn and rewire that neural pathway. That's what I'm doing. All right. That's what we're doing. When we're revisiting those things, when we're taking the time to process those hurts and transform them into healing, we're rerouting those neural pathways. We're rewiring them. We're creating new connections in our brain that changes that feeling of shame, of low self-worth, of low self-esteem, of low self-love. We're reframing those into new ones. That's why affirmation and mantra is so powerful and so beautiful. I wrote, there was an affirmation, a mantra that I wrote for myself to cultivate a certain type of awareness around myself. That was the desire, deserve, require. And I started to write, I wrote in my journal, blah, 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 the things that I desire, deserve, require. And through doing that, it started to show up in my subconscious mind with ease. It started to show up in conversation and natural conversation. I deserve a peace of mind. I deserve clarity. You know what I mean? I deserve to feel prioritized. I deserve to feel wanted, needed, right? I deserve those things in a healthy manner. But I didn't have the language until I started to offer it to myself first, okay? And so then my mind began to shift because of the mantra. And that's how that works, right? You speak those things out of your mouth, and then your brain begins to actually accept them as truth. You know how they say, fake it till you make it. And I know that there are people have their own mixed feelings about the whole fake it till you make it. And I'm all for it, but not in a way that causes suffering of self, but in a way that causes growth, flourishing, healing, lifting, elevation of vibration of self. In that sense, the fake it till you make it, I'm 100% here for that. Because when I didn't truly feel the love for myself, I spoke it to myself. And, everything starts with a thought. It all starts with a thought. In order for it to become a verbalized word, or in order for it to become an action, it starts with a thought. Whether it be your thought, somebody else's, it starts with a thought, okay? Then it comes out of the mouth. Then it turns into action, okay? So the love that once did not exist for myself began to grow, and it was planted with the words that I wrote, the words that I had inside of me, right? To write down somewhere the words were in there, right? I didn't know it until I went looking for it, until I went onto the journey and searched for those words, and they were in there the whole time. And then I was able to offer them to myself and bring those words up from my, I don't know what I want to say, like my deeper consciousness up into my higher consciousness, and then be able to offer them to myself every day. So like brainwashing myself into the new state of mind. I think it's amazing. But anywho, let me see, where was I going? Where was I going with this? It comes back to self-love, self-worth, worthiness. That's where a lot of this comes back to. That's where a lot of it comes to, self-worth. And yeah, no, like when I said that I associate negative outcomes with asking for what you want or need, absolutely I did. Absolutely I did. And I think it's quite amazing to be able to come back to this entry 5 months later with new eyes. And of course that's reflective of all of the work that I've been doing on trying to understand these things. And the hurt and the healing, the crying and the verbalizing and the processing, and then the asking of the questions. What is this? What is that? What does this mean? Okay. Just like I did in the journal. So I say all that to say Don't take affirmations lightly. Don't take mantra lightly, because it is no joke. It is very powerful. It is a powerful tool for healing. That is what my teacher said. Anita Sundaram said, mantra is a very powerful tool for a very powerful tool. And it's a very powerful tool for healing for me. Like when I was chanting some of the mantras that she gave us, there was one that keeps coming back to me, that came back to me today, that says, I can't remember the Sanskrit from the top of my head. I probably have some of it I have some of it, but I don't know the whole thing. But basically it says, lead me from darkness, from unreal to real, from darkness to light, from something to eternal, okay? The Pamavana mantra, okay? Upanishad. Lead me from unreal to real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality, okay? So the mantra says, lead me from unreal to real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. And that mantra keeps coming back to me because I feel like the lead me from unreal to real, that's where I'm being led right now, right? Because my truth continues to change and evolve. So what was real to me 5 months ago is no longer real today, right? The truth that I was living in then is not the same truth that I'm living in right now. The truth that I'm living in right now, it might not be the truth that I live in 5 more months. You know, by the time we come around to October, is that in 5 months? September? Okay. I ain't talking about nothing, y'all. Don't listen to me. Basically, I just want to share how powerful the effects of the vibration of mantra is when you allow it to wash over you. So, you know, the main point is that use mantra, take your time, find out, ask yourself, like, confront some of the things that are swirling around in your own mind, that might be holding you back, that might be affecting your self-worth. And I know that I've made at least one or more videos. I know I made other videos about self-worth. Okay, and I feel like it's something that I can always come back to. I'm not speaking from, you know, empirical research. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from my own healing, my own I'm speaking from my own transformation, my own growth, my own journey. Okay. And so, yes, like, of course, there's going to be limitations that come along with that because we're not all the same. But also, I use my experiences in my journey and share them openly, authentically, for the purpose of hopefully creating community so that people don't feel like they're alone in these things, these things that are necessary to work through. Necessary because you deserve to have that freedom that's on the other side of those understandings. Okay? So I think that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it all the way through, thank you. I don't always know what I'm going to talk about or what's going to come from that. I hope that was some substance in there. But yeah, you know, I don't know. That's what I have to offer. I hope there was some substance in there. But if not, come back tomorrow and let's try it again. Let's try it again with another topic, okay? Thank you so, so much, y'all. Let's take a breath together. Hands over your heart. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale it out. Let's take another breath here together in community. Exhale it out. Let's take one more breath. One more breath that breathes into all of the worthiness, all of the deservedness, all of the love that you are, all of the places that you've been on your journey, and the places that you have yet to go, the places that you deserve to go, with the people who deserve to come with you. Okay? Only with the folks who deserve to come along. And let the people who don't necessarily deserve to come along on the journey with you, let them be inspired by you moving on your path as you should. Let's take that breath. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.